Hey, what's going on? Tragick here. This is going to be a video, basically going to be a Raw review and Night of Champions thrown in together. Um, like I said, I don't watch pay-per-views. I don't know, like, I see the point of, if you're really, really a huge fan of it, I am a huge fan of it, but until it gets to the point where, I don't know, I just never see myself really buying a pay-per-view. Um, I do love the business. I do love pro wrestling. But in my aspect, I would rather buy it later on, find out how good it is, and then go out and buy it if it's really, really good. So, Night of Champions, I heard, was a pretty decent show. As if all the WWE pay-per-views are getting way better. Like 6 months ago, it was pretty horrible compared to now, which is pretty decent. Big news is Mark Henry finally won the World Heavyweight Championship. So we were all wondering what was going to happen on Raw. Um, and I'll get to that in a moment. John Cena won his, which I found out on Raw was his 10th timing World Heavyweight Championship. That didn't really mean much because some of his reigns lately have been like, a couple months. So it doesn't really mean anything, that way. I mean, I can understand most champions, they're going to have a couple of those reigns, but Cena's really, I think, pushed the thing about that. Probably half of those reigns have probably been, a decent length of time. And the other five has probably been, crappy title reigns, which shouldn't even count, really. Um, um, really, no other big news um, happened at Night of Champions. Beth Phoenix did not win the championship. Kind of odd. Um, so that's about it. Um, so we got on the Raw. Basically, the big announcement was that Del Rio, Cena, and Punk will battle in a World Heavyweight title match at Hell in a Cell, and Mark Henry will give Randy Orton a rematch at Hell in a Cell as well. I believe those are the only two matches signed so far for the card. Um, so, given that, Triple H, starts this whole controversy thing at the beginning of Raw, uh, and telling CM Punk that, I'm not involved in it. And then CM Punk reiterates, I know you're not a part of it. You didn't let me finish, blah, blah, blah. Um, then he basically says John Laurinaitis comes out, um, and he tries to fire Punk. Triple H vetoes it, um, and basically said he's going to fire somebody in the Raw. Very, very shocking. Just got done watching it. I wanted to post a review real quick. Um, so he said he's going to fire somebody at the end of the show. So move on from that, we get um, like I said, I forget. I should really write these matches down. But Hugh Jackman was a guest, so I guess I'll start with that match. We had Hugh Jackman supposed to pick a guy that's supposed to be an underdog, and to face Dolph Ziggler, who interrupted him when he was having a little speech in the ring. That was shortly after the first match, so I'm not too far off. Um, so he picks Zack Ryder to take on Dolph Ziggler. Um, wasn't too bad of a match. This is what I think they should really do with Zack Ryder. Give him an opportunity to come out there. To show he can wrestle. Because I mean, I think he really can wrestle. It's just they put gimmicks on people and they won't let him wrestle. Just like John Cena. Everybody knows John Cena can wrestle, but they won't let him show it. Because he don't have to, first of all, and second of all, that's not what the teeny boppers and the people who like John Cena, that's not what they want to see. So that's why. And Zack Ryder's kind of the same way, where he's gotten over with the internet audience, and he don't have to do a lot, just be there, and people are like, yeah. So I mean, I see Zack Ryder gonna end up getting pushed into maybe getting an IC spot on SmackDown. Maybe somehow, they're gonna transfer him, but they're doing the Super Show now, so he might win the belt, and then that's the way that they're gonna transfer people to SmackDown now. Um, but he did beat Dolph Ziggler with the help of Hugh Jackman. This referee kicked Ricky out, and Hugh Jackman jumped up on the apron and punched Dolph Ziggler, and Zack Ryder got the win. So pretty cool. I actually thought they were gonna have Ricky get disqualified and then give him the win that way, which that would have made more sense. But it was cool that Hugh Jackman punched Dolph Ziggler. I have to admit that. Really cool. I marked out. I was like, yeah. Yeah, no. Um, Then we had, I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. We had the Women Divas match. I tried. I watched like 2 minutes of it, and of the actual wrestling. I had to fast forward it. It was horrible. I mean, we got people. I mean, it's like if you had Jack Swagger like he was like like a month ago when he was botching all the spots. It was horrible. You got to get these bimbos off of the wrestling thing. You got girls like Kelly and even Beth Phoenix and Natalia was messing up tonight. It was like God, it was a horrid match. Um, Divas just aren't that good now. I don't know what's going on. They need to get some really good women, get them to clean up the style. I don't know who's in charge of the women's division right now, but they must be doing a shitty job because his women are horrible. Can't watch them at all. Really bad. Kelly won. He was Torres, whatever. Yeah, that lot they lost at the pay per view. She really should have won it. And that would have been the way to get on track. But whatever. Um, we got an 8-man tag with Justin Gabriel, which first time I've seen him with Airborne, Kofi, and Evan. And we got who was it? Oh, Sheamus, yeah. And then they go on Wade Barrett, Matt McGillicuddy, and David Otunga, and Christian. Yes, Christian. Um, Christian seemed to be really overshadowed in this match. Like they didn't really show him that much. He didn't really get in there too much. It seemed like all the other guys were in there more than him. So, and Sheamus was really looked upon. Like he was in the ring a lot, seen, but it seemed like Christian was kind of overshadowed. They didn't really show him that much. I don't know. Like it seems to me when they brought him back, they wanted to make a big deal out of Christian, and so now it's just like they're like showing him to the side, and they're not really giving him, like an opportunity to be a main eventer, which I really think he can be. They just, won't let him be, the real heel Christian, the one he was back in the day. If he was the Christian, when he was having a feud with Chris Jericho and, back in that heyday, when he was really a good heel, he could be a main eventer. He could be a world champion and he would be credible. But now it's like the way they treat him. He can't be a main eventer like that. Him and Sheamus need to get in a really good program. They need to battle each other for a long time. Go through 4 matches together. Have all these kind of gimmick matches, whatever. Make each other like golden, and then they'll put them both in a spot, to where they both possibly can go on, go their separate ways, and become world champions. Um, but I think that's really what they need to do. I don't even honestly know who won this match. Um, I forgot, but it was an okay match. You got to see everybody in the thing. Got to see Justin Gabriel for the first time. Wasn't in the match very long, but yeah. Um, and then the next match I can remember. Okay, so Sin Cara came out. He's supposed to face Cody Rhodes. This is really stupid. I didn't understand this. Okay, so they waste all this time. Sin Cara comes down the ring. And they waste all this time with Cody Rhodes coming down. And they handing out bags. Everybody thanks. So you think there's going to be a wrestling match? Nope, not at all. Nope, not at all. Here comes the other Sin Cara, which I missed that on SmackDown because I don't watch SmackDown. I got to see the highlights, thankfully, or I would have been lost in the whole storyline. But here comes Sin Cara, the other Sin Cara, and I'm just like, huh? So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna have a triple threat match with Sin Cara, and Cody Rhodes. No, we're gonna have a face off, and then we're just gonna forget about the whole entire match. What? Doesn't make no sense. So you can't have the winner of the face off face Cody Rhodes. I don't know. Uh, Maybe the reasoning is they don't know who the real Sin Cara is, so they can't have him wrestle Cody Rhodes. I don't know. So if they both show up, I guess the matches are canceled. I guess that's how it goes. Anyway, and then later in that we see Mark Henry come out. He gets interviewed by Jim Ross. I don't want to say I like these interviews. They're interesting. They put the guy over, but when you always get a monster, like it seems like like every time a monster wins the belt for the first time, they have to make him look like a monster. So in order to do that, they have to like brutalize everybody in the non-wrestling uh, roles around ringside. So he manhandles Jim Ross. Jerry Lawler comes, saves him. He gets World's Strongest Slam in the ring and through the announce table. Michael Cole runs like a little girl. He just gets nothing done to him. Um, and basically it dragged it out. Him holding the world title, rubbing it, and you know whatever. I could have seen him like yelling at the camera or something as he's walking out, but he just holds the belt and that's it. And I mean, I will say Mark Henry will probably be a really really good world champion. And they should give him a lengthy run. I know Off the Rope show said like 2 or 3 months. No, I think they should give him a longer reign than that. They should give him a run where he really is a world heavyweight champion. Give him a run. Give him a run against Sheamus. He can't beat him, or Sheamus can't beat him. Blah blah blah. Give Christian a run at Mark Henry. He can't beat him. Blah blah. But Christian can do like the whole heel team and act like he can try and beat him. Blah, blah. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this, but the point is, Mark Henry needs a longer reign, and they always have to do this kind of thing. Okay, I didn't mind it, but I'm used to it by now. So, if I missed any matches, I apologize. Uh, like I said, I need to start making notes when I do these reviews, but I catch the highlights for the most part. Jack Swagger, I think, confirmed that he is now officially a client of Vicky Guerrero's. I have no idea. I thought they confirmed this like 2 times already. But anyway, we get to the main event. CM Punk and John Cena taking on R-Truth and The Miz. John Cena, CM Punk win. Pretty good tag team match. Pretty interesting. I watched most of it. It seemed pretty interesting. I was, kind of reading the book at the same time watching it. It's just like tag team. It seems like every time they want to have a main event, they put tag teams in the main event. Now all the major stars basically in the main event. So it's like, yeah, that's cool, but you have to do that every freaking week or every other week. It's just like you can have a singles match, like 6 times in a row on the night Raw. I'm sure we'd be fine. We could have got Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. That would have been awesome. Or CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That would have been awesome too. Or versus Mark Henry versus John Cena and other world champions face each other. Something like that. But you have to give us a tag team match with Punk and Cena. You know, whatever. So the end of the show comes and the big shocker. So supposedly, I will say supposedly, the Miz and R-Truth got fired. And then they ran and tried to attack Triple H. So I don't understand that part of it. They got fired. I would think that they'd be chasing after and asking why, not attack the COO. So I can smell something that's going to happen. I don't want to say NWO, but I'm saying that probably maybe there might be a faction that they might try and do something with them, Nash, and that's all they got right now. So I'm assuming that somebody's going to turn heel, or somebody, I don't know. I just see something brewing that is going to be kind of reminiscent of the NWO days. That maybe we're going to see somebody big. I almost want to say Cena. Like if this was the time, it would be the time. If you think about when Hogan did it, oh my God, everybody remembers that moment. If they did it with Cena, he turned heel. They ransacked the ring, to make sure Del Rio and Punk did not win a world championship. Somehow they got in that Hell in a Cell. That would be memorable. And another aspect I could think of is Del Rio. He's got the money. What other, angle do you want to go at this at? He's got money. Money buys everything. Blah blah blah. $1 Million Man kind of style thing going on. Money buys everything. He gets Nash, Miz, and Truth basically being his stable, watching his back, being his lackeys. Basically would set up, later on that Nash would be his bodyguard, and that, Rodriguez, kind of slowly fade him out so that they wouldn't actually need him anymore. Or maybe he could go on to manage somebody else. That would be a good way to do it. I don't really see anybody else, leading a faction like that. But I almost see it's almost as clear as day that there's going to be a faction. I mean, how would you get rid of Miz and R-Truth, two of the biggest guys on Raw? two of the big main eventers, and then you're just gonna get rid of them. It kind of don't really make any sense.